Hi, I'm Don Havre with a real estate firm. Frequently, we have individuals that hit our website and want to be placed upon the automatic email update service. And you may ask yourself, well, why should I bother contacting Don when I can do many of the searches myself? Well, the answer to that question is really twofold. One is that we have the capability to search in much greater detail than anyone does from outside of our website. And secondly, we can place you on the automatic email update service every time a new home comes on the market or does a price adjustment. So let me give you an example. Let's do a quick search here, and I'm going to do residential properties only. And in this particular case, I only want to look at homes that are classified as active. And if you notice on the far side over here, we have an active category. We have a category below that that says active under contract taking backup offers. I normally don't send that out because people are really disappointed once they find out that the home is actually pending an offer. And then there's another category called active back on the market. So these are homes that were actually for sale, they went under contract, and for one reason or another, deal fell through. So we typically send that information out. Now, since we're looking only at actives, closing dates would not apply. Now, we can search via cities or by neighborhoods. So in this particular case, I'm going to put neighborhoods, and I'm going to look at the city of Richland, and I'm going to indicate that I want to search by North Richland and Central Richland. And so as I continue down, I want to search in a price range of, let's say, $200,000 up to, for this purposes, $350,000. I want a minimum of 3 bedrooms and not to exceed 4 bedrooms. As far as the style, we have a variety of different styles we can select from, and I'm going to use ramblers only, or one-level homes. And then as I go to the second category here, as I'm going to mark the box other, so we don't get pre-manufactured homes, which could be a rambler style. As you see right below this, we have the number of bathrooms that we can select. So in this particular case, I have 1 3/4 baths up to 3 or more. Under garage capacity, we have selected 2, 3, or 4 or more garage capacity. Now, under square footage, I'm going to indicate that we want a minimum of 2,000 square feet and not to exceed, let's say, 3,000 square feet. I want newer homes, so I'm going to put 1995 through 2011. And I'm not really concerned about what agents are listing the property. Now, the secondary criteria is where our real strength comes in, where you don't have the ability to do this. And as I open up this section, I'm going to initially close all, and our first section is available financing. So if we're only looking at homes with, let's say, conventional financing, we'd open this box and then select those homes that only allow conventional financing. Sometimes I find individuals having preferences as far as the type of foundation. And so if we were open this section here, we can indicate, are we talking about post and beam, which is pretty dated in this area. Many times people would rather not have a concrete slab, they'd like to have a crawl space. So I'll mark crawl space for this particular example. Now as we continue down, sometimes the roof is important to some individuals, and if I were to open that up, I'd have a variety of options as far as roofing. Since I'm dealing with a one-level home as far as a rambler, I have no basement. So let's go down to the exterior. As I continue and check down here, let's say that I would like to have a home that has only stucco type of exterior, so I've selected that particular box. As I continue down, there's a property description here, and this is going to give an overview as far as whether or not animals are allowed, whether or not it's on the water frontage, whether or not there's homeowners association or homeowners warranty included, whether or not it's irrigated or not. So there's quite a bit of information we can select there. Now, we can also indicate, as we continue down, the water and sewer source. Sometimes people only want to be connected on a city sewer, and sometimes the septic system is acceptable. In those particular cases, we'd identify it there. Now, as far as the interior, I frequently find individuals like me to search in this particular area, and one of the most common search functions for a rambler would be a great room concept. In other words, it doesn't have a separate family room. This is especially true for empty nesters. As we continue down, we have utilities, and this would be whether or not it's electrical utilities or gas or both. Under appliances, this would be the type of appliances that might be associated with the home. And in this particular case, let's say that we would like to have appliances with a range oven, which almost all of them have. And as I continue down to look at other options, would be pool. And sometimes people would want a pool, sometimes they do not want a pool, and this particular category would allow me to select the appropriate. Under heating system, we have a variety of different heating systems in the Tri-City area, and gas seems to be the preference for many people, and so I'll put a gas furnace here. Continuing down, you might suspect that air conditioning is the next option. So if I have a gas furnace, probably I'd like to have central refrigeration, so I'll mark that. And under fireplace, this is going to give me the option of having one fireplace or more, and the type of fireplaces it could be. It could be a zero clearance or a brick type of fireplace. Street and road information, exterior information, let's take a look at that and see what we have there. In this particular case, we have a lot of options. Let's say someone wants to have a shop. Well, we would check this box here. In the city, it's kind of unusual to find a newer home with a shop, so I'm going to decheck that and continue on. You can see whether or not we'd like to have it fully fenced or not. That might be an option we would look for. Then as we continue down, closing information is going to allow us to define whether or not individuals would allow early occupancies, which is a little unusual in the Tri-Cities. And then it allows us to identify a garage parking space. So let's say in this particular case that I have a newer Rambler and I'm looking for at least a 3-car garage, so I'll mark that. Continuing down, we're not dealing with pre-manufactured homes. Irrigation system, I won't open, but that'll give us an option whether or not we're using city water or an irrigation company as our water source. And then the latter categories down here deal with schools. Now, what I find is that this is probably not a good idea to use this particular area if I'm trying to search by elementary school area or middle school or even high school, because many agents will not identify these boxes, and our information that we pull out is only as good as the information that goes into the system. And I think that the reason why agents are not marking school areas is because there may have been some litigation in the past where someone purchased a home thinking they were in school zone X and it turned out to be school zone Y, and possibly litigation started. So in order to protect themselves, many agents just do not put that information in. So that's really kind of an overview as far as what we have under that particular category. Then under advanced features over here, you can see if we wanted to deal with acreage or a particular subdivision, we can identify all of that. So the bottom line is, when we do all of these searches, in this particular case I came up with one house that met all of that criteria. So as you can see, the more restrictive that we make it, the fewer options we may have. But in essence, you can see this really gives you a good opportunity if you really want to hone in as far as what type of home and what type of area works best for you. Well, once again, my name's Don Havre, and I'm with the real estate firm here in the Tri-Cities. So if you find that you're interested in joining our automated email update service, I would recommend that you go to www.key2homes.com. Appreciate it. Thank you.